Hi there, this is Benny, the Highland Coo. He's used to teach children about resilience. That was the idea of his design. He's quite friendly, he's got very kind eyes and quite a he's energetic, but he's not too intense. And he's certainly not dopey either, so he's quite a kind of a middle ground. He's quite a relatable kind of character, I think, for a lot of children. And the idea of resilience comes in the fact that I feel like kind of demeanor is that he's kind of comfortable when things go wrong, and is able to kind of work through that and come out the other end very strong. The pattern to create him started off with a tinfoil ball that would have been about a third the size of his head, which I covered in masking tape and created a pattern, and then scaled the pattern up and kind of altered it slightly so that it was suitable for EVA foam. So his head is actually created out of EVA foam, contact cemented together. Same with his jaw. His jaw is some sections of EVA foam, and his hooves are layers of foam. The foam was then covered in a toweling, which was bright yellow, but I dyed it with coffee to stain it slightly, to kind of darken it, and it's quite patchy, which I think gives a bit more of a natural feel to it. Some parts are darker, more brown, and some parts are more orange. And I think the patchiness and the kind of the wearing that it gives it makes him feel not like a super fresh child's toy, but like a worn and loved toy, kind of cuddly bear, which when you kind of hold him and play with him like this, you really kind of get that feeling that he's a worn and loved bear, even though he was only made a couple of days ago. One of his ears is quite floppy, that's this one here. It was just attached on with less than the other ears, so this ear is quite stiff and this ear is very floppy, which partly gives him a slight kind of, there's something quite wrong with him, but not in like a destructive way, and it also adds a bit of motion so that when his head kind of moves about, there's a bit of movement, as well as the wool on the top of his head, which kind of flops from side to side as he talks and kind of moves about. The arms have wire through the middle of them, which gives them quite a spring. So if I let go of the arm, I don't have to move it, they naturally spring out, which kind of gives them quite an energetic kind of movement in the arms so that the head can move and the arms kind of spring into their own place. It can be quite difficult to puppeteer, but if you kind of push the arms into a position, they can then quite comfortably move from that position, which is a little different, I guess, to if they didn't have wire in the middle. But it feels good. The sticks that control his arms are black wooden rods with some wooden beads on the end to kind of make it a bit more of a professional feel, but they also become quite comfortable to hold on to. They give you really something that you can grip onto at the bottom, which is especially useful for the springy arms. I feel like the mouth is very comfortable to use. The thumb inside kind of attaches into the mouth quite firmly, just because of the cavity in there. And there's loads of room inside of his head, which means it doesn't get too sweaty and it's very comfortable to use. The horns are quite small. I perhaps would have liked them to be a bit bigger, but it was kind of too late by the time that the changes could have been made. But I think at the same time, the smaller horns makes them kind of quite not intimidating. The idea of a rainbow Highland cow is not something that's completely original to my designs. There's an artist in the village that I live in who has a series of paintings of Highland cows painted in bright rainbow colours, and there's a few other artists who have kind of commercialised it across the world, but I've never seen a rainbow Highland cow puppet, and I think the rainbow is quite familiar, but also gives them quite a bright, energetic, childlike view of the world. Yeah, so this is Benny the Highland Coo, who's here to teach children about resilience. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed.